Hey CardRunners, Faarcyde here, doing a hyper video. In this one I play on full tilt, some hypers between 35 and I believe there's a 200 in there, so like 35, 60s, 100s, and like I said, maybe a 200 in there. And there's kind of a good mix of regs and recreational players, so bear with me while it's kind of a juggling act, trying to keep games going. So I'm trying to like kind of keep 3 at a time going, so there's no dead air. So on the right we have a reg Adrian HB. I don't always bet this flop. In fact, I check it back a decent amount. I feel like it hits his flatting range pretty darn well, but with Jack high, 3-card flush draw, there's a lot of turns I can barrel and stuff. I think it's fine just to bet fold. On the left it looks like just your random recreational player. Board comes 9, 5, 6 rainbow on the right. I turn a double gutter, so I definitely can get him to fold like a 5, maybe a 6 there, and I have equity even if I'm called. On the left, just betting a little bit less than half pot on a really, really dry board. I basically think his range can be like anything here. I don't think it's a lot of like aces. So as weird as it sounds, I think I might actually have the best hand here some more portion of the time. On the right, I'm definitely bet calling or bet shoving, whatever. Kind of a crap turn. I think you can float with like a lot of like queen 8. He probably check raises queen 10 most of the time, and you can still have a jack, and then the river kind of whatever. But obviously, I can get value from a 9, which I think makes up most of his range. But I think with the way the board ran out, it's kind of hard for me to sell like having any bluffs in my range. So, kind of a standard suited connector shove here. If he's raising 70%, and we don't really have enough big enough sample, it says 52, but that doesn't really mean anything. If he's raising 70% and then like calling like loose, which would be like queen jack offsuit plus like aces, king 9 suited, that type of thing, then it's going to be fine, slightly plus EV. On the right, he donks into us pot when we have aces. If he like had bet smaller, then I probably would have just raised, but the pot size is going to be such on the turn that there's like no bad card really. So as it turns out, he basically has the worst hand for me, which is a flush draw, but even then, I mean, he's only like 1 to 2 against my range, so it's not like the worst thing in the world. Five two offsuit is not a Nash call. It's not a call versus anybody really. On this flop on the right, I'm assuming he's checking back a jack or a 3, and I can't really represent anything, so it's just a check fold. 10-5 offsuit. Basically what I do in these situations is just like look at what Nash would be, and I kind of estimate like, it does make sense to play Nash against this guy, but what I'm saying is that I usually adjust it a point or two. So if it says 10-5 offsuit, I'm not exactly sure if it say it's like a 4.5 big blind shove, then if I think he's calling looser, then I'll shove a little bit tighter than that, and then vice versa. And on the right, he's obviously committing himself, so he pretty much has the best hand for us here. 10-9 of clubs, like I said, like I kind of am just playing off some charts here where if we look at let's see, 10-9 of clubs, call at 11.5 big blinds, and he's shoving about 9. So I think that's enough, even against a guy who's probably not like shoving that often to be calling there. And I kind of feel when people get below 10 big blinds, like their range increases quite dramatically because they feel like the pressure to get their chips back. So, and he hadn't been like a total nit so far or anything, so I think that's fine.